Hey everybody, this is Dream, and this can be our 7-game NBA slate on FanDuel. Pretty good little slate. It's probably the most normal slate we've had all week. We've had a lot of crazy wins and a lot of wacky slates this week. So this one should be a little bit more normal just because of the size and just there's not as many injury situations today. There are some though. Before I get into the injuries though, can you guys smash that like and subscribe button and also share the video? Really do appreciate it. With that said, let's get into the injuries. For the Nets, we have Irving and Simmons both out, so we're going to have to deal with that again. For the Hornets, Rozier is questionable and Hayward is out. For the Hawks, Young is questionable. For the Knicks, Robinson is doubtful. For the Thunder, Pokusevski is out. Sorry for butchering your name. For the Rockets, Fernando, Jabari Smith, and Tate are all out. For the Nuggets, Highland is, I think he's doubtful right now, but he will likely be out. And then to the Trailblazers, Lillard and Simmons are both questionable, according to the injury report. And then for the Suns, Cam Johnson is doubtful and Payne is questionable. So those are the injuries. Let's get into the players we do like today. We're first going to start with the guards, and we're going to look at Jamal Murray. His price point's a little bit too cheap for his potential in this matchup here. He's been pretty good the last 2 games, and as long as he's set to get over 30 minutes, I do like him as a good option on this particular slate, just due to his price point being fair and how he's played lately. Chris Paul is another guy that I like here. He's in a nice plus matchup against Portland. His price point is pretty good. He has it has come up a little bit, but overall he's been solid so far this season. The only real risk with this is that he may not play super deep in the game, which sometimes happens. So you do have to be aware of that. But he does look like a decent play on this particular slate. Jalen Green for the Houston, with the few injuries that they have, he's going to get some more opportunity. He's been pretty good throughout the season. His price point is okay here on FanDuel, and so I think he's a decent play. Then we're going to look at Kevin Porter, who's another guy in a similar situation to Jalen Green. His price point's pretty fair. The injuries and stuff for the team are going to help him get more minutes, and he should be good to go in this one. Then we're going to look at the other guards, Rozier. Now, he's very dependent on whether he is set to play and if he has a minutes limit or not. But it does look like he might end up playing today, and if he does, and he's set to play a full complement of minutes, his price point is pretty fair here on FanDuel. Torrey Craig for Phoenix. He's a guy that may end up starting for if Cam Johnson is in fact ruled out. So do keep that in mind. And if he does start, then he'd be a very good play on this particular slate. He's actually been really solid last year, starting when guys were hurt. So I do like him on this particular matchup as well. Then we're going to look at DeJounte Murray now. We do have to make certain that Trae Young is out before we make a good push for this guy. His price is not super ideal, and if Trae Young is playing, then he's definitely not as high on my radar. But it is a good matchup for him, and if Trae Young ends up being out, then he'd be a great play. Then we're going to look at Kenyon Martin for Houston. He's another guy that might end up starting in this game, so keep an eye out for that. And if he does start and he looks like he's going to get 25 plus minutes, then he'll be a really good play on this particular slate. And that's a nice matchup for him. Then Kevin Durant, obviously, he's going to have to be most offense like he was yesterday. He had 28, 9, and 11 yesterday. And I expect him to have a similar output today without having Kyrie or Simmons there. So he's going to take a lot of shots and get a lot of opportunities. Then we're going to look at Giannis for Milwaukee. He's in another good situation here. Obviously, yesterday he did really well, got in a triple-double. He should be able to do that again. However, even with the triple-double yesterday, he didn't actually 5x because it takes 60 points at $12,000 plus dollars. That's pretty amazing, but he does have the upside and the capability in this matchup to do that again. Excuse me. Isaiah Hartenson, now we do need to check to make sure he ends up starting for the Knicks. But if he does start, then even though his price has come up some, he's a really good option if Mitchell Robinson is in fact ruled out, which it looks like he will be. Then we're going to look at Royce O'Neal for Brooklyn. He's basically the second or third scorer with Kyrie and Simmons out, and so he has some nice upside in this matchup here, especially with those guys out and against a really bad team in Charlotte. And then we're going to look at Bobby Portis, who's been really solid this season. A little bit inconsistent because the minutes are a little fluctuating because he's coming off the bench. But his price point is pretty good here, and he should get some upside in this matchup. He should play a little bit more minutes on a day like this than some of the other guys like Brook Lopez on the team who are older and don't tend to play as much on back-to-backs. So we'll have to take a look at that, but he is somebody that looks interesting on this particular slate. And then finally for centers, Claxton for Brooklyn obviously looks like a really good spot here for him, especially with him being the second or third scorer behind O'Neal and Durant. And he should be able to get the rebounds today as well. That would definitely benefit him in this matchup. Plus, he's just a decent shot blocker as well. Then we look at Sengun for Houston. He's in another good spot here. He's been really good this season when he starts. So we do want to make sure he's going to start. But if he does start, then he should have some nice upside in this matchup against Minnesota. And then DeAndre Ayton for Phoenix. Another guy that he should end up starting today. And even though he didn't quite get there yesterday against Portland, he's got a good, he should be able to do it this time around. And he'll probably get more minutes today and hopefully get more rebounds as well. So with that said, thank you guys for liking, commenting, and subscribing. If you have any comments or questions, or if there's any players you feel like I missed on, feel free to leave those below. And with that said, have a nice day, guys.